go.
Hey guys, I'm Alex, and I just saw Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension in 3D, which is the final chapter of the Paranormal Activity saga. And really quick, I just wanted to say I am a huge fan of this franchise. I know like 98% of the people in the whole world have the same mindset that's like, oh yeah, found footage movies are shit now, and all these movies are shit just because it's the same thing recycled over and over and over again. I understand what you're saying, but to me, I really like all of these movies. I think all these movies are really cool. And like each movie has one new thing that they bring to the, that brings to it, you know, and also the thing about this franchise that I think a lot of people don't really get is that to me, I thought the story was really interesting. It's pretty cool if you actually follow it, but anyway, the first Paranormal Activity poster right there is one of my all-time favorite horror films. I love this movie. This is one of the most profitable films of all time. This film, I love these two characters, Katie and Mika. One of my favorite movies that take place all in one location. Paranormal Activity 2. I thought this was a great horror sequel. This was a prequel to the first one, and it tied into the first one awesomely. Like, the ending of this movie tied into the first one awesomely. I love that in movies where, like, the timelines cross. I love shit like that. The third one is actually my favorite sequel in the franchise. Definitely my favorite sequel. This one, I thought, had really entertaining characters, entertaining to watch, and, overall, I just really liked this movie. Like, each movie has their new thing that it brings to the table. The second one had security cameras, and now this one had VHS cameras, and it had, like, the rotating cam. Like, that was really cool. Like, that rose a lot of suspense. And, yeah, this one was a prequel. I also found it very funny. Paranormal Activity 4... I understand that a lot of people hated this movie. In fact, I completely understand. That's fine if you hate this movie. You know, it was littered with jump scares. There are jump scares in the other ones, but this one is completely littered with them. Next up, Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. This movie I found very entertaining. It's not a great movie, but I don't know, I just think of this one as like one of those entertaining movies like I can just watch. And this one was a spin-off, and it was basically all about the Coven. You figured out a lot about the Coven. This movie contains quite possibly my favorite ending out of the series. I thought the ending to this movie was fucking awesome. And as I said, I'm a huge Paranormal Activity fan, and over the past like 4 years or so, I've been seeing every single installment of this franchise every single year that this franchise has been going on. As I've been wanting like a final movie to explain all the questions we have ever had that in the series. People behind the movie have stated that, oh, this movie is going to answer all of your questions. This is going to be the last one, and we're going to make sure all of your questions are answered in this final movie. Now, did I like this movie? I did, but there are a lot of things about it that I really do not like, and I can't really get into those things without getting into spoilers, so there are no spoilers in this review until I tell you there are. But anyway, let's get into the movie. This movie is about a family in 2013 who move into the same house that Paranormal Activity 3 takes place in. Well, it's not the same house, because the house burned down in '92, but it's the same place where the house was. They just built a new house around the thing, and around, you know, where the house was. And in this movie, I liked a lot of things going on in this movie. I pretty much loved the first half of the movie, because like I could feel like it was gonna be built up to this great finale that would just be epic and cool and explain everything and explain some things, but there are a lot of things that it didn't really explain. I do like the little things that this movie explained. Like, for example, this isn't a spoiler, because it's literally the first thing you see in the movie. This movie begins, it shows you the ending of Paranormal Activity 3. When that came on, I was like, oh, holy shit. Like, you know, it shows the ending of that, and then it shows the girls go upstairs, and it shows what happened upstairs. I thought that was cool, okay? I'm like, okay, this movie's off to a great start. Sweet. If you're looking to see, like, all these characters that were in the other movies, you're not going to get that, because there's hardly any characters in this film that were in the other movies. Except, obviously, from the trailer, you saw the two little girls from Paranormal Activity 3 and the grandmother. But I'm just going to say this right off the bat. This isn't a spoiler. I'm just saving you from disappointment. Katie Featherston is not in this movie. Adult Katie, this is the only film that she doesn't appear in. Like, I figured she'd at least have a cool cameo, like, at the end. But no, she's not in this movie, which is very disappointing to me. I thought she was going to come and fuck shit up, but nope. And in this movie, the new thing that they brought into this movie was the video camera. The camera that you saw in the trailer that picks up movement, like to where you could, like, see the demon. I thought that was a really, really cool idea. They had a good thing going. They do a lot with it. Like, with the other movies, it was, like, left up to your imagination. That's what was so good about the other movies. Like, to where you didn't see the demon. This one is literally like, okay, yep, there it is, it's right there, and here's all the shit. Which was cool, but it kind of took away the suspense. And the characters, to be honest with you, not really that great. I mean, they're not terrible characters, but, like, the main character, Ryan Feige, I think you pronounce his name. I really liked his character. I thought he was a really cool character, and I really liked him. And the cool thing about this movie is that in this movie, you know, you saw from the trailer they find the tapes, and they literally watch the third movie in this movie. I thought that was pretty cool. And, you do get to figure out a little bit of what happened to Katie and Christy after the events of Paranormal Activity 3, which I thought was really cool. And the little girl in this movie, she's okay. She's not really that good. I think the kid actors in the other movies were better, specifically the third one. The two little girls are way better than the little girl in this movie. This movie, I thought, was, to me, not really as good as the other ones. Well, due to the fact that, like, they didn't have, like, great characters that you can connect to. Like, really the only character that you care about is the main character, Ryan. Which kind of disappointed me, because in the other movies, like, all of them, you get really good characters. In this movie, they implement time travel into the mix. Which I know everyone, like, when they saw that, they're just like, oh, that's so stupid, oh, time travel, oh, they might as well go to space now. I love seeing time travel in movies, because, like, that's one of my favorite things to see in a movie, considering the fact that Back to the Future is my all-time favorite movie. I was really excited to see how they would do the time travel in this movie. And I gotta say, they don't really do that much with it. No, they didn't really do much with the time travel, which really disappointed me. The last 10 minutes of this movie was like, it seemed like it was going somewhere, like something really cool was gonna happen, but it didn't end up really going anywhere, and I was really disappointed with the final act of this film. And the saga, I mean, like, this is supposed to be the final movie, and, like, like, it's supposed to have this grand, epic finale ending to this saga of movies that went over 6 movies. They had to have known that we weren't going to love this. I mean, to be completely honest with you, Saw, the final chapter, 3D, had a way better ending than this. Like, that movie, I actually felt had a cohesive ending to the saga of 7 movies. I thought that really ended it the best way that they possibly could in that movie. But this movie, I really don't think that they put that much thought into, like, okay, this is the final movie, we're gonna have to really nail this and make sure that it's cool and satisfying. It's almost like that, like, they just, you know, did what they had to do, like, to end the series, and this really doesn't feel like the final movie. This feels like, you know, any other Paranormal Activity movie. It feels like the second to last. It feels like it feels like they're going to make another one right after. I liked a lot of things about it. I liked the little things that it did explain, but I like the movie, I just don't like the fact that this is the final one. If the last 15 minutes of this movie were, like, really cool and explained everything and was just epic and awesome, I would give this movie like an A-. Okay, so now I'm going to get into some spoilers with Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. And if you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend that you go see the movie, then come back. If you haven't seen the movie, thank you so much for watching and checking out this video. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's get into some spoilers. Now, at the end of the last one, the marked ones, I was really hoping that they would, do what they did at the end of that movie, but do it better. The ending, she goes through the time doorway, which, it sucks when Ryan died, because he was basically the only character that I really cared about. When that freaking tentacle goes through him, like, it's like, oh, man, I wanted to see him live, but, well, I knew everyone was gonna die anyway, but I figured he was gonna be the last one to, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, she goes through the time doorway, and she goes to the house of Paranormal Activity 3 in 1980. Like, time has passed since the ending of the third one. Basically, the thing of this movie that, like, it's been building up to is that Toby wants to be human. He doesn't want to be a demon anymore. And at the very end, like, he turned human. Like, he is human. Like, and then that's the end. It's like, they could have done something way cooler than that, but... And it's not the worst ending of all time, but I just wanted way more from this ending than that, you know what I mean? And in this movie, they have Hunter, the kid who was Hunter in the fourth movie, and I figured they would, like, explain what happened to him. Like, there's so many other unanswered questions, like, what happened to Hunter? Like, I wanted to see what happened to Hunter after Paranormal Activity 4. And really... I guess they kind of explained what happened, because, like, okay, this is stupid, though. Like, they literally, okay, they have the kid who played Hunter. I figured he was gonna have, like, a bigger role in the movie. No, he's only in it for, like, 3 seconds. Like, they literally, explain what happened at the end of the Paranormal Activity 2 and Paranormal Activity 4, and then they show... I thought it was cool that they had on one of the VHS tapes that Hunter was in one of the VHS tapes in 1992. Which I thought that was cool, but they didn't do anything more with that. They just literally, like, you know, just showed a 2-second thing of him with the witches. It's like, okay, that didn't really explain much. I guess they took him through the time doorway in the 92 and did something with him. And then, like, that's the end of it. Like, that's what happened to Hunter, I guess. And the main thing that pisses me off about this movie, besides the last 10 minutes, they don't explain what happened to Katie. I wanted to see Katie in this movie. I wanted to see what happened to Katie, because we haven't seen her since Paranormal Activity 4, but no, they didn't do anything with that. They didn't even show her. She wasn't even in the movie! Why? I don't get why she wasn't in this movie. She was literally the main thing in this franchise. And they do mention a little thing, like, oh, the cops have been looking for her for years. Oh, she killed this, her boyfriend in 2006, and then she killed this family in Nevada, and yeah, cops have been looking for her. It's like, where's Katie been hiding from the FBI and all this? It's like, has she just been in that house from Paranormal Activity 4 this whole time? I don't know, that part wasn't explained. I really wish they would have explored what happened to Katie, because she was by far my favorite character in the whole series. So overall, this movie did explain some things, and a lot of other things it didn't explain, but I did enjoy this movie, to be completely honest with you, but I did not love it. I did not love this movie. For me, it would probably go 3, 1, 2, the marked ones, the Ghost Dimension, and 4. Like, that's how it would go. And so this is the end. This was the final chapter. This was the grand conclusion to this franchise, that I really liked and I've been following for years. And this is what we get. I know I'm talking like I hated this movie. I just hate the fact that they didn't answer all of our questions. Like, with the Saw movies, they answered literally everything, except, like the very ending of that movie, which I still thought was awesome, like, of the last Saw movie, but... Okay, so overall, I'm going to give Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, a B-. I think that's about fair. I liked a lot of things about this movie. I liked that it answered some of our questions. I liked some of the ideas in the movie. I liked the character of Ryan. Alright, guys, so tell me what you thought of the movie, and tell me, like, if you are a fan, or tell me, like, if you're just like everyone else, like, oh my god, this franchise is so terrible, I wish they would just stop with this bullshit. Like, you know, tell me whatever you think, your thoughts, your opinions. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Leba Loves Movies. Look me up on Instagram if you want to follow me. If you don't want to follow me, that's okay. Okay, so I think that's it. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later.